ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Robert's Porch. I'm your host, Robert. NCAA College Football Week dose. So we have 21 games this week. So the plan is to do about 21 games a week. And then as we get later in the year, maybe do a few more. Depends on matchups, depends on conferences and playoffs and all that good jazz. So week 1, 21 games. 19-2 on the straight up picks, 10-11 against the spread, 11-10 on the over/under. So that was 40-23, 63.4%. I can live with that. 60% from goal. So with that, with week 0 and week 1 combined, 24-4. The straight up picks, 14-14 against the spread, 15-13 on the over/under, 53 for 31, 63%. So just a tick above where I want to be at, with the 60%. So obviously the higher the better. All right, game 1 of these 21 massive games. We have the 1-0 Illinois Fighting Illini going up against the 1-0 Kansas Jayhawks. Illinois beat Toledo 30-28 last week. Kansas beat Missouri State 48-17. Kansas favored by 3. I got them winning, covering. I am taking under on the 56.5. Vanderbilt Commodores 2-0. They beat Hawaii 35-28. They beat Alabama A&M 47-13. Going up against the 1-0 Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who beat Eldon 37-17. Wake Forest is favored by 10.5 with an over/under of 57.5. I think Vandy goes 3-0. I think they start the season strong. I got Vandy winning, covering. I'm giving them the 10.5. So Vandy plus 10.5. Over on the 57.5. The 0-1 Ball State Cardinals going up against the Georgia Bulldogs. That Bulldog is going to eat himself a Cardinal. Bulldogs won against University of Texas Martin, UT Martin 48-7, while Ball State lost to Kentucky 44-14. Georgia is favored by 42. I don't think it's going to be the 48 or the 81-0 blowout here, but I think it's going to be a lot like that Kentucky game that Ball State played last week. So Georgia favored by 42. I got Ball State covering the 42, and I'm taking over on the 53. The 2-0 Notre Dame Fighting Irish wins against Navy 42-13. Tennessee State 56-3. Or 42-3, excuse me, 56-3. Two huge blowouts, but they are going against the NC State Wolfpack. Yeah, I can't talk. 1-0 who beat UConn 24-14. Notre Dame is favored by 7.5. I got them going 3-0. They win. They cover under on the 51.5. This is a big game. We have Colorado Buffaloes coming off that upset win over TCU 45-42. Prime time as a head coach for Colorado, getting his first win. Now they're going up against one of the regional rivals, cross-state rival, the Nebraska Cornhunt. Nebraska, Colorado, a big rivalry. You'll have fans, almost fighting in the stands. Nebraska lost 13-10. Can Colorado beat Nebraska? They are favored by 3.5. Prime time goes 2-0. Give me Colorado covering the 3.5 and over on the 57.5. Next up, the 0-1 Purdue Boilermakers going against the 1-0 Virginia Tech Hokies. Boilermakers lost to Fresno State 39-35. Well, the Hokies beat Old Dominion 36-17. Virginia Tech favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 49.5. The battle of the 1-0 Kansas State Wildcats and Troy Trojans. Troy beat SF Austin 48-30. The Wildcats beat Southeast Missouri 45-0. Kansas State is favored by 16.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 55.5. Battle of Iowa, the 1-0 Iowa Hawkeyes versus the 1-0 Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa Hawkeyes beat Utah State 24-14, while Iowa State beat Northern Iowa 30-9. Iowa Hawkeyes are favored by 4. I had them winning, covering, and over on 36.5. The 1-0 Texas A&M Aggies beat New Mexico 52-10. The 1-0 Miami Hurricanes beat Miami of Ohio 30-3. In this game, Texas A&M is favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 51. The 1-0 UNLV Rebels, who beat Bright 44-14, going against the 1-0 Michigan Wolverines, who beat East Carolina 30-3. Michigan is favored by 36. So I got the Wolverines winning. I got UNLV covering. I'm taking under on the 57.5. The Cincinnati Bearcats coming off a 63-13 whooping on the East Kentucky. They are 1-0, going against the 1-0 Pittsburgh Panthers, who beat Wolford 45-7. Pittsburgh is favored by 7.5. I thought long and hard on this one. I decided to go ahead and Cincinnati plus 7.5 over on the 48. Next up, we have the Marshall Thundering Herd, 1-0, beating Albany 21-17. East Carolina Pirates 0-1, losing to Michigan 30-3. Marshall's favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 46. The Utah Utes versus the Baylor Bears. Utah 1-0, coming off that Florida win 24-11. Baylor got beat by Texas State 42-31. Utah is favored by 7.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 47.5. The 1-0 Appalachian State Mountaineers went up against the 1-0 North Carolina Tar Heels. North Carolina beat South Carolina 31-17. At that game, we had the Kurt Busch 23-11, Michael Jordan, part of his team, with the 45 Jumpman Tar Heel Blue Toyota TRD. They're going up against Appalachian State, who beat Gardner Webber 45-24. North Carolina favored 18. I got the Tar Heels winning. I got Appalachian covering the 18 and under on the 60.5. Next, we have the New Mexico State Aggies 1-1 going against the 1-0 Liberty Flames. The New Mexico State Aggies lost to UMass 41-30 in week 0. In week 1, they beat Willard 58-21. While Liberty beat Bowling Green 34-24. Liberty is favored by 10.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 54. The 1-0 Oklahoma Sooners coming off that Arkansas State butt whooping 73-0. Should be a mercy roll on that one. The 1-0 SMU Mustangs beat Louisiana Tech 38-14. Oklahoma, the Sooners, Boomer Sooners, favored by 16.5. I got them winning, covering, taking over on the 69.5. Going for a stretch on that one, but they went over it by themselves last week. Speaking of butt whoopings, the 1-0 Oregon Ducks, who beat Portland State 81-7. Going up against the 0-1 Texas Tech Red Raiders, who lost to Wyoming 35-33 in double overtime. Oregon is favored by 6.5. I got them winning, covering. I am taking over on the 67. This could be a good one. The 1-0 Texas Longhorns, coming off that 37-10 win over Rice, going up against the 1-0 Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide. They beat Middle Tennessee 56-7. Texas Longhorns, Alabama Crimson Tide. This could be a playoff matchup if the cards fall right for everyone. But Alabama's favored by 7. I got them winning, covering, over on the 55.5. Another could be possible playoff matchup if the cards fell right. A lot would have to happen. Wisconsin Badgers, who are 1-0, going up against the 1-0 Washington State Cougars. Badgers beat Buffalo 38-17, while the Cougars won against Colorado State 50-24. Wisconsin favored by 6.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 58. Auburn Tigers 1-0, going against the 1-0 California Golden Bears. Auburn beat UMass 59-14 in week 1, while California beat Northern Texas 58-21. We have Auburn by 6.5 with an over-under of 54.5. I got Auburn winning, covering. I am taking over on the 54.5. And then last but not least, the Oklahoma State Cowboys 1-0 going against the 1-0 Arizona State Sun Devils. Oklahoma State beat Central Arkansas 27-13, while Arizona State beat Southern Utah 24-21. Oklahoma State's favored by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 53. So those are the 21 matchups for week 2 in the college football season. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show. Like I said, 21 games per week throughout the rest of the year. We got the NFL, we got CFL, we got NASCAR. It's all right here on Robert Sports Show. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show content.